Shout, shout, I'm talking to you, so come on. Shout.
Good morning, everybody. 21 minutes after the hour. Welcome back to the Sunrise Show. Craig Fronikin, and want to welcome into our next guest. Very fun when you start a new business and jump into, I'm not going to say midlife, but you know what? Following your dream, and Denny and Jan Martinez, believe it or not, following their dream and finally getting to what Jan wanted, and that was a tea house. And so sure enough, Denny and Jan Martinez have bought the Rogue Riviera Restaurant in Gold Hill and resurrected it, and now open as the Teapot on Wheels. And Denny Martinez is in the studio. Good morning, Denny.
Good morning, Craig. Thanks for having me.
You bet. And breakfast house and the Teapot on Wheels. You've got the tea house out there. So many things are going on. And I know we should have had Jan in here because she could just keep that end of the bargain up with everything that she's doing. But all the events that she's done, talk about that. How did all this start?
Well, Jan's not here because she's tired. we have two dining rooms out there. The main dining room is our breakfast and lunch fare, where we're serving American food and British food. We took the 4 things that you can actually eat from Great Britain, brought them over here to the U.S. and put them on our menu along with some American items. And then the second dining room, we have our tea house, which is all done in just vintage linens, vintage china, and we are actually serving tea in that room, and we're serving high tea Monday through Saturday from 10 to 3 in the tea room, and the restaurant is open from 7 a.m. till 3 o'clock Monday through Saturday.
7 to 3. Okay, 10 to 3 in the tea room and 7 to 3 for breakfast and lunch. Okay,
right.
Good deal. We're talking with Denny Martinez, and of course the website teapotonwheels.com, and you can check that out. And don't need reservations.
Well, right? We do recommend reservations for the tea house. There's times when we're just booked out solid. Once the Southern Oregon public found out that there's a tea house opened again that serves the tea the way that we serve it. There's other places in town, but we go through and serve it more of the vintage European way. And it's just a fun place. We have hats out there, so the ladies come out there and they're putting on the hats and wearing their foo-foo-y dresses, and and they spend a couple of hours there having a great time.
Good deal. And it's when you take high tea, I've learned that's 3-tier service, which is correct? The 3-tier service?
Yeah, and especially in light of the new legalization of marijuana, it gives new meaning to high tea, you know. And so what we're doing, no, I'm just teasing. But yeah, the high tea, it's served with it's on 3 tiers. We come out with fresh baked scones to start with our Devon cream and lemon curd, and it's delicious. I mean, Jan makes up some amazing scones.
I can use that as a spread for just about anything. It's so good.
Yeah, my kids come out, and my son Aaron, he grabs a bowl of it and a spoon and just starts munching down on it.
Wow. Well, of course, when you've got a large mixing bowl in the back, now they lick the beaters. I mean, with all of this stuff in a commercial kitchen, Jan's got to be thrilled with all of this.
Oh, yeah. Well, she gets to use her creative juices, and they get flowing, and she's coming out with, like, these lemon lavender scones and the cranberry scones. I mean, she's coming up with some delicious scones, and they're coming out fresh, and you get those on your plate, and they're hot, and it's like, oh, my gosh, you just roll your eyes. And then that's not the only thing we serve. I mean, we have the 3 tiers, so we're doing the sandwiches, you know, the fresh-made sandwiches every day, and some unique sandwiches. They come up with they finish off with a sticky toffee pudding, which is just amazing. You bite into that, and your mouth just kind of explodes. You go, wow.
Right. Now, that's just on the tea side of things. Mm-hmm. And I know that one of the challenges you had was the Rogue Riviera was known as the best steakhouse in Southern Oregon from the locals there. Mm-hmm. And now you've got the breakfast and lunch menu, but you've still got some incredible dishes you're serving there.
Well, everything we make out there, we make from scratch. One of the things I know when I was advertising for a cook, I wrote, "Are you tired of making the same old slop?" Because most of the restaurants around here, they open up a bag. You go to any restaurant, it's the same thing anywhere you go. Here we make everything from scratch. And like, for instance, our fish and chips, you try that, you're going to say this is the best fish and chips in the valley. Our clam chowder, we make from scratch. We've had people from San Francisco, they say this will beat anything down there. We used to go to the coast to try to find, and trust me, we try to find good chowder.
And I'm with you on that. In fact, I've been through that drill so many times, literally I've given up. Because here's the thing, I know what restaurateurs are having to go through related to food cost, you know, and 33% and all of that, and food waste. And how do you make the best possible clam chowder, and either you sell out, or what do you do with the remaining? And it's expensive with chopped clams and everything else. So.
Yeah. Yeah, but we're just making it fresh every day, and just really starting to calculate how many people are coming in. We're growing leaps and bounds. When we first opened up, we just did a silent opening. We just pulled the sign and said we're open, and didn't advertise or anything, because we wanted to work through the bugs. And we've been to places that opened up with all the fanfare and all that. You sit there and you wait for an hour to get in. You wait for an hour for your food. You wait for another hour for your check. We didn't want to do that. We wanted to be able to open up and kind of work out the kinks, and that's what happens in a new restaurant. And so now, you know, and it actually paid off, because now people are coming in, they're seeing the service is fantastic, the food's fantastic, the prices are really reasonable, and people are driving from Ashland, Klamath Falls, the coast. They're actually making this a destination restaurant.
That's fantastic. And of course, what's that exit? It's 45A, right?
45A, not to be confused with 45B.
Yeah, exactly. Right, exactly. 45A, and you come off the freeway headed north, you pull right off, T-bone, right into the Teapot on Wheels.
Well, if you're coming from the north now, if you're coming from...
I meant from the south.
Yeah, from the
going
south.
north, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. 45A, you're looking right at us. We're right off the freeway. And plus, we're on an acre and a half. We are right on the river. Our views are amazing. The grounds are beautifully kept. You sit there and you get to look at the views. And we do weddings on there as well.
You know, Denny, I want to talk to you about that. We've got to get to a break, though. I've got Denny Martinez. Denny and his wife, Jan, have purchased the Rogue Riviera Restaurant, turned it into the Teapot on Wheels. The website, teapotonwheels.com. The phone number out there, 541-855-4343. And that's the Teapot on Wheels out there in Gold Hill, exit 45A. We're going to talk about the event center and what they're doing for weddings and the beautiful sprawling landscape there that they have. When we come back, it's the Sunrise Show on News Radio 880 KCMX. Back after this.
So get up. Top of the morning to ya.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. 33 minutes after the hour. Continuing with Denny Martinez. Denny and his wife, Jan, have bought the old Rogue Riviera Restaurant in Gold Hill, and they've called it the Teapot on Wheels. That happened back in November, December of this last year. And Dennis is in the studio with me this morning. We're talking about the Teapot on Wheels, the high tea that's going on out there, and the event. I guess I can call it kind of an event center, Denny, but you've got this wonderful, this acre and a half between where you come off at exit 45A on Interstate I-5 there, and from the front of the restaurant down to the river's edge, all grass and picnic tables, and there's a small area right there. You can have weddings. You've got the whole thing set up. You just had a wedding this last weekend.
Yeah, we had 330 people at a wedding this weekend. There was parking for everyone. We fed everybody. It was a great event. When we first moved into this place, it's been over a year and a half ago, it was a field. And now it is beautiful. It's grass that rolls right on down to the Rogue River. You have no clue when you're driving by of the nugget that's down there. Even when you pull up to the restaurant, it looks like
tall pine trees on both sides, right?
Oh yeah, it's surrounded by trees. There's grass. There's flowers everywhere. We've built 3 huge pergolas that you walk through this path that takes you down to the river. It's a gorgeous setting, and when you, like I say, you don't really realize what's sitting there when you drive by I-5. You pull up to the restaurant. It looks like a small little quaint restaurant, but it's almost 6,000 square feet there. And when you pull into the driveway and you look onto the grounds, we have grounds and serving 350 people, no problem.
You know, it's interesting. You mentioned about parking, and you said, well, you've got the gas station property right next door. And if you think about that, gas station and cafe, that makes perfect sense back in the day of having a gas station and a cafe right there at a junction. But no one even thinks that you've got, like you said, 6,000 square feet in the restaurant, multiple floors, and then the sweeping grass down to the Rogue River. And I saw it last week, and I was like going, wow, this is gorgeous.
Yeah, it's stunning. And for weddings, brides are looking for something on the river to try to service that many people with this kind of setting. It's hard to find in Southern Oregon, and we've accomplished that.
Well, so I was out there, full disclosure, and I had a real tough decision to make whether or not the fish and chips or the green chili burrito. And I went for the green chili burrito. It was massive, had a fresh baked jalapeno on the top of it, ate it all, finished it up. It was fantastic. Now I've got to go back for the fish and chips because I'm a fish and chips guy. So, it was tough.
Well, our fish and chips, we use Icelandic cod. And we use our own homemade beer batter, our own homemade tartar sauce. We had a guy in the other day who owned a restaurant over in Gold Beach, and he says, I have to admit this, your tartar sauce is the best I've ever had. And so, and it's good. It really is good.
Wow, that's great. Well, talk about some of the other, when you put together your menu with locals, did you keep them in mind? I mean, how did you work out your items? Because you only can have so many. I mean, coming from a restaurateur and food cost and making sure that your menu items aren't too many. I mean, you have all that issue, right?
Oh yeah, we're a real full service restaurant with those same concerns and the same problems of trying to keep food costs and labor costs and all that in line. That's one of the concerns you have when you're doing everything from scratch. You can keep your food costs down, but it means you have a higher labor cost because somebody has to make all this stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so like for us, because we make everything from scratch, you can't compare the quality with anybody around. It's excellent what we serve out there. If you go on to TripAdvisor.com and you look up Teapot on Wheels, it's 5 stars across the board. Service, the price, the quality of the food, everything is 5-star. We don't have one negative response at this point.
Wow, Denny, we've got a phone call coming in. Let's grab that. Good morning. You're live on the Sunrise Show. Who's this?
This is Colleen.
Colleen, yes. Hi. Do you have a question or a comment for Denny?
I do. I'm very interested in hearing about the new restaurant, and I wanted to find out what you have in the way of a vegetarian menu.
A vegetarian menu. Okay, good. Denny, what's your comment there?
Well, we have people that come in with special needs like gluten-free or dairy-free, and I tell them, listen, I am old school. I make stuff with butter. I make stuff with gluten product. I mean, we are not a health food restaurant. However, we make some amazing, gorgeous salads. If you go on and look at some of the pictures online, the teapotonwheels.com, you'll see some of the pictures that we have. We have a vegetarian omelet. If you eat eggs now, because trying to define what's true vegetarian, what's vegan,
right.
it's pretty difficult. So we do our best to try to accommodate everybody that comes in. We do have gluten-free bread, so if you want to get a breakfast with toast, but you never can get it because everything has gluten in it,
right.
We serve a gluten-free bread. But for vegetarians, we have the salads and a couple of dishes, but it's really not, it's not our main thing.
Yeah. Colleen, did that help?
That helped very much. Yes, I am looking at vegetarian as opposed to vegan because there are times when I will still eat eggs and dairy products.
Right. Good. Well, Colleen, thank you so much for a call this morning.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. Well, good. There you go. So, with all of that, and I was going toward the old timers and the best steakhouses of Oregon, which the old Riviera. Have you gotten away from that Riviera thing, and it's the Teapot on Wheels now, or are you kind of accepting that as far as history?
No, we do accept that, the association with that, and most of our clientele out there are middle-aged and up. As far as the restaurant's concerned, because they remember the old days of the Rogue Riviera. They come in and they talk about it. They remember it was only like 7 items on the menu, but they made the best steaks around, and they poured heavy drinks and all that. So we get a lot of stories that come in, and we hear a lot of the stories and the old timers. They tell us about this place. I think it used to be called the Fiddler on the Green back in the late 50s.
Wow.
And we've had people that come in and take pictures. My dad owned this place years ago. They'll tell us these stories, and it's really actually fascinating to hear what has transpired over the years through this property.
Good deal. We've got Denny Martinez in with us this morning. He and his wife, Jan, bought the restaurant out there in Gold Hill, exit 45A. They've titled it the Teapot on Wheels, teapotonwheels.com, and it's exit 45A between Gold Hill and Rogue River, and their phone number, 541-855-4343. And the Tea House, which is, and for Jan, that's her lifelong dream, is to have a tea house. She's got a tea house now. Oh, and teacups. Her collection of teacups, I mean, they're everywhere.
Well, this started years and years ago. I would buy Jan an antique cup and saucer, and I eventually built a shelf unit, and so she started collecting teacups and all that. And so over the years, she had teacups, teapots. These things are all in use now in there. So when you go in, you're not just going in and having tea. You're actually paying for the experience. You get to sit down. We play old music throughout the restaurant all day long, but you're going in and having an experience. You're not just going in and having tea. And just so you know, our teas, we have our supplier is getting teas from about 80 different plantations, and they do the blends, and we have real quality teas there. You can't hardly get these kind of teas anywhere in the valley.
Very good. Denny, the tea room, talk about reservations. I mean, how many people can it fit in there at once? Do you know? And what works with that?
Well, the tea room seats a maximum of 32 people, and
Okay.
we will reserve the whole room for if you have a big party. And we are getting a lot of the Red Hat Society ladies and,
Right,
and a lot
right.
of the church groups, and just where the ladies are coming in, especially when you have older folks that are saying, you know what, this is an era that's kind of long gone. And we can't find this kind of experience anymore. You can here because you're able to just get your ladies, come on in. So anywhere from 2 to 10, 12 people, it doesn't matter.
So basically, they can reserve the table and, you know, up to 32 people in the room. And then, of course, depending on the time for the tea and that kind of thing, high tea and all of that.
Yeah, we will do after-hours events, and one thing that's coming up soon is our outdoor dining. So we're looking at doing the outdoor tea garden parties, outdoor dining for our regular restaurant, and so a lot of things that are in the works that are coming up right now.
Wow, very good. Well, Denny, this is very exciting, and I tell you what, with everything being made from scratch, I'm looking out to get some of the. I got to get out to fish and chips, so we'll do that. And
Yeah, you got to
sometime
try our
soon.
fish and chips. It's amazing.
Very good. And the clam chowder as well. And then, what is this? Blueberry crepes. I am a sucker for crepes. Blueberry crepes with tart lemon glaze.
We make some amazing crepes out there, and when you get out there, they're not these little dainty French things. These are like big crepes, and we make them from scratch. We make our crepes every day. Our blueberries. So you take this, you get 2 crepes. We fill them with a cream cheese that we make with honey and lemon, and we blend all that. We put a layer of that down. We put the blueberries in there, roll them up. Then they get the Devon cream, and then they get the tart lemon glaze over that. And you get out there and you think, if you're hypoglycemic or diabetic, you're in trouble.
You're in big trouble. All right, so the tea room is open up from 10 to 3, and then you're open up for breakfast and lunch from 7 a.m. to 3, and that's the teapotonwheels.com. The phone number 541-855-4343, and I'm amazed that you got 330 people in there for a wedding this last week, and because of the parking, you've got parking across the street and next door with the gas station, so you're set.
Yeah, we've got parking, and we have the experience. We've one of the things, like when we're doing 330 people, one of the things that is really a big bummer when you go to to a wedding is standing in line for an hour and a half to get your food. We've been doing this for years. We know how to get people through, and so the events we have the grounds. We have to sit there with that backdrop with the Rogue River directly behind you. Our platform's right down there on the river. Looks like they're standing on the water. It's an amazing event, and just running that many people through and with the food and all that, it's just a memorable event. We have a great time doing it.
Wow, good deal. Well, Denny, I wish you all the success in the world, and to you and Jan as well, and I've got to get back out there. So,
yeah, looking forward to having
all right,
you.
Denny, thanks for coming in this morning.
My pleasure.
Denny Martinez with the Teapot on Wheels. Get to their website, teapotonwheels.com, and watch out. Your taste buds could be amazed. So, all right, getting to a break. We'll be right back. More in the Sunrise Show. You can find us on the web, kcmxam.com, and we can take your calls here live from Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 a.m., 541-772-8255. So much going on. Oh, and Grants Pass, we've got to talk about that when we come back. The Grants Pass City Council banned marijuana outside for recreational use. So guess what? You're going to have to start growing it inside. So we'll take your calls on that as well on the Sunrise Show on News Radio 880 KCMX.